Hi class, this is Jordan Armstrong. Today we'll be doing Unit 1 discussion. My article was published May 15th, 2020 by Deborah Fisher. The headline is Memphis Journalist First Amendment Files First Amendment Lawsuit After Removal from City's Media Advisory List. So this advisory list allowed different journalists, whether it was independent or a group, to have access to different data in the city pertaining to the city of Memphis, kind of like a local outlet to just keep all the journalists up to date and to know what's going on. That access was terminated and taken away from her due to her being viewed as non-objective. In 2017, the chief communications officer, which her name is Ursula Madden, she informed Ms. Thomas verbatim. She said, demonstrated particularly on social media that you are not objective when it comes to Mayor Jim Strickland. So, throughout this article, they talked about how, they felt that she didn't speak about Jim Strickland in the best light. They felt that, she wasn't seeing him as this, superhero that they wanted her to see. But again, whatever she speaks out on social media goes back to how this pertains to our unit is First Amendment, freedom of speech, freedom of religion, freedom of press. That starts on page 47 for us. It says the First Amendment speech and press freedoms in theory and reality. And at the bottom of the page, it kind of just talks about the First Amendment and kind of elaborates on it. But this is something that is a key factor throughout life. But in this, for journalists, it's very important. And many journalists have been attacked and their rights have been attacked. Their, First Amendment rights have tried to be attacked due to just different situations. All right, so we talked about what it is. We talked about how it pertains to the unit, being the First Amendment. And again, she said that she felt that her First Amendment was violated. She provided us with 5 ways. I'll list a few. It says disrupting her ability to gather and report the news, restricting her rights to access information in city government, making an unconstitutional content-based and or viewpoint-based decision to exclude her. And again, it's a total of 5, but I just gave you, just a few to understand. Like, she had a whole layout. Well, not an entire layout, but she had 5 valid points as to where her First Amendment was attacked. The results of this, they said they never gave her or anybody on that advisory list a warning that if you didn't have this ideology or if you weren't viewed as objective, that you would lose access to this information. And this affected her job greatly. She couldn't report different stories during COVID. It was very hard for her because that was her primary database that she was using, and she lost all access to that. So it caused a huge problem, a huge problem. So, okay, yeah. So we said that, okay, so the result was the courts agreed that she was not given, there was no layout saying, hey, these are the boundaries when you're on this list. You can't do this, this, and that, or you will lose access. So they felt that it was unfair that there was no disclosure. It was just a sudden decision. It was a sudden decision, and it could be viewed as discrimination because, again, there was no valid reason. That's what makes politics politics, and just news. There's different people have different ideologies and standpoints, and that's what makes it so great. So I personally agree with the outcome, and if I was Miss Thomas, I myself would have argued that my First Amendment rights were violated because they were. She spoke how she wanted to on her platform because that was her platform. That was a representation of her, and she felt that she could speak that way. I felt that nothing that she shared was inappropriate. It was just truthful, and again, it just didn't align with other people's viewpoints who had an issue with it. So again, I feel that I would have escalated, and if I was ever put in that situation, that yes, I know my rights, and I'm going to make sure that they know that. So I hope this kind of gave you an insight on the case and how this whole thing worked out for her. But this is a true reflection of the First Amendment in Chapter 2.